It all started during my senior year in high school, the year when you're supposed to be making memories and looking forward to graduation. Well, for me, it turned into a nightmare I couldn't escape. It was a typical Monday morning and I was rushing to get ready for school. The drill uniform, backpack, breakfast, the whole routine. But when I walked into the school building that day, something felt off. Everyone around me seemed to be going about their business like usual, but for some reason, it felt like déjà vu. As I walked to my first period class, I couldn't help but notice the eerie familiarity of the situation. It was as if I had experienced the same Monday morning over and over again. I chalked it up to senioritis and thought maybe I was just stuck in a monotonous routine. But I couldn't have been more wrong. The bell rang, and I took my usual seat in my history class. My teacher, Mr. Johnson, started his lecture, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I had heard his words before. It was like a never-ending loop. I leaned over to my friend Sarah and whispered, "Doesn't this feel strange to you?" Sarah looked at me with a puzzled expression. "What do you mean, Kate? It's just another boring history class." I sighed and decided to brush it off as a weird case of déjà vu. But as the day progressed, I realized that this was no ordinary case of déjà vu. It was like I was living the same day over and over again. The conversations with my friends, the lessons in class, the cafeteria food, it was all on a never-ending loop. By the end of the week, I was in a state of panic. I had relived the same Monday morning a dozen times, and it was taking a toll on my sanity. I tried telling my friends about it, but they dismissed it as a joke. They thought I was pranking them, or worse, losing my mind. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I started documenting every detail of my day, from the topics Mr. Johnson covered in history class to the lunch menu to the smallest conversations with my friends. I even set alarms on my phone to see if time was truly repeating itself. And it was. It was a never-ending nightmare. I woke up to the same Monday morning every day and I couldn't escape it. No matter what I did, no matter how I tried to change my actions, the outcome remained the same. It was like being trapped in a time loop. I reached out to my science teacher, Mrs. Robinson, who had always been fascinated by the concept of time travel. She suggested that maybe I had stumbled upon a glitch in the space-time continuum. It was a terrifying thought, but it was the only explanation that made sense. Desperate to break the loop, I started researching time loops and how people had escaped them in movies and books. I tried everything, from making drastic changes to my daily routine to avoiding certain people and places. But nothing worked. It was like I was stuck in a never-ending cycle of high school. Weeks turned into months, and I was still reliving the same Monday morning. Graduation day was approaching, and I couldn't bear the thought of spending eternity in high school. I was exhausted, mentally and physically. Then, one day, as I walked into the school building, something strange happened. A janitor I had never seen before greeted me with a knowing smile. He handed me a small, old-fashioned pocket watch and whispered, "Break the cycle, Kate." I clutched the pocket watch, and suddenly time stood still. The world around me froze, and I could feel the power of the watch in my hands. With all my determination, I whispered, "I want to move forward." The world around me shifted, and I found myself outside the school, free from the time loop. I had broken free from the never-ending nightmare that had consumed my life for so long. Graduation day was finally here, and I had a newfound appreciation for the present. I never did find out who that mysterious janitor was, or where he got the pocket watch, but I'll always be grateful for his intervention. That experience taught me the value of living in the moment and appreciating every day as if it were my last. It was a high school nightmare I wouldn't wish upon anyone, but it made me stronger and more grateful for the gift of time. And so, that's the story of my never-ending Monday morning, a time loop that I'll never forget. Don't take your time for granted, because you never know when you might find yourself trapped in a never-ending cycle of the past.
Subscribe for more videos.